Hey guys, how's it going? Burstfire here, bringing you another video, and today we're going to address one of the most common things that I get asked, which is regarding how to review your own or someone else's op.gg. So in order to do this, we're going to just be looking at a random player in the challenger ladder, but before that, we'll go over the basics. So the basic concepts to consider is you want to update the physical site itself to get the most recent data, which is obviously better than out-of-date data. You want to have a look at their ranked solo queue because this is the only thing that matters. Flex queue and normals and all these other things are irrelevant if you actually want to improve at the game and analyze your skill level. You want to look at the games you've played and how many days you've played them in. So usually I look at the top 20 and I see how many days. Then you want to look at recent win rates in Kda to figure out which champions have been working recently. You want to look at the top 7 win rates in Kda, which is your most played champions on the left-hand side. Then you also want to have a look at all the champions that you've played this season, have a look at any high win rates, and also have a look at unique champions played. So without further ado, guys, let's have a look at the OC Challenger ladder. We can just pick a random player here. I guess this guy, never heard of him. He's got an okay amount of games, so we'll just update him. He's rank 17, take notes. It says 6 hours ago, but it just got updated, so go to the list. First thing we look at is we update, done. Okay, second thing we're going to look at is ranked solo queue. So ranked solo queue, he's played 20 games in the past 2 days, which is actually really, really good. Now it's actually more like 3 days because this is 1 day ago and this is 2 days ago and this is less. So it's more like 3 days, but you know, if you use the same formula for everyone, then it'll balance out. So you would just name this as 20 games in 2 days, and then if someone else had the same sort of thing, you could compare. So quite common, it'll be 20 games probably in 4 days. So this guy plays quite a lot. Recently, he's played 3 games on Akali and done relatively well, and 2 games on Riven and done relatively well. One thing you'll notice here is 6, 9, and 11. 3, 6, 8. 8 games here out of 20 on the top 3 champs. It should be 20 out of 20, realistically. Even in Challenger, you should be playing, I would say somewhere like 18 or 17 games should be your top 3 most played. So in the past 20 games, let's see how many unique champs he's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He has 12 unique champions in the past 20 games. That means he's playing too many games. Too many unique champions. He should make his champion pool smaller. He has a 52% win rate over the course of 300 games. This is fine. It's a little bit low, and I think by making his champion pool smaller, he will increase his win rate. Also, we can have a look here. His Akali Kda and win rate is pretty good. Syndra, same thing, and LeBlanc, same thing. Even though 20 games, I would say 20 games is probably enough to make a pretty solid statement. So I think LeBlanc, Syndra, Akali, 3 champs that are relatively strong right now. He should definitely play more of those. Obviously, Yasuo, very, very good. His most played and his highest win rate in the top 7. So excellent there. We move down the list. Now we're just going to have a look at all of his champions played this season. So again, champions, ranked solo queue. Okay. So we see that he has played 45 champions in 300 games, which means on average, so on average every 6 games, or 60 games, he plays a different champion. Yes. Oh wait, every 6 games. Jesus. Okay, wow. So every 6 games, 6 or 7 games, he plays a different champion. So that's really, really bad. You should be averaging about 20 or 30 games per champion, realistically. But yeah, so we'll have a look here. We already looked at the recent, so now we're just going to look at top win rates. Now, a lot of people will obviously say, oh, 1 win, 100%, that doesn't mean anything. That's kind of true, okay? But what you can do to expand upon this is you can go, all right, well, if I have 1 win, 100% win rate, yes, that's not meaning I'm really good at the champ, but why not explore this, right? This is potential right here. All of these like high win rates, this is potential. 3 games, 11 games, 4 games, 8 games. And some of these are quite high, like 11 games with 73%, that's pretty damn good. 8 games with 100%, that's also really, really good. So he should expand upon this. So what I would say is in these sort of situations, I go, okay, you have this champ, you've played 8 games with 100% win rate, play 5 more games of Lucian. Okay, 5 more Riven, 5 more Ezreal, just play 5 more of any champion here. that you need some more games in. And actually, I would say with Lucian, you'd probably want to go 5, but then if after the 5 you're still hitting like 70% win rate, make it up to like a total of 20 games, so play another 7, and then continue with it. And that's really all it is, because this win rate of 100% in one game, it basically tells you that if you play the game and someone had to predict your chance of winning, the most accurate guess would be 100%. And if I told you that you could go into your solo queue games right now and win 100% of your games, you'd be like, hell yes. Now, obviously, right, everyone knows that one game is not a huge sample size, which means that the data is not as accurate. However, you don't have any other data. There's no indication that if you played Corky, you would lose, right? You have a solid KD, and you've won the only game you've played on him. So there's no indication that if you picked Corky here, you would lose. So you should just play all these champs, flesh them out, play maybe 5 games per champion, then analyze your solo queue game again. So what I would do is I would just make a list, and I would physically write down these champions. So I'd go, okay, Lucian, Riven, Ezreal, Corky, and Xayah. I just write down the top 5, because you only really want to have a pool of 5 even in high challenger, unless of course you're a pro player and you're practicing for scrims or something, which this guy could be, I don't know, but let's assume he's a solo queue player because that's going to be my core audience, or even just an OCS player, right, because solo queue is more important than scrims when you're in OCS. Even in OPL I would actually argue solo queue, but whatever. Lucian, Riven, Ezreal, Corky, Xayah. Yeah, you just play 5 games each of these champs. Whenever you finish, cross it off, cross it off, cross it off. And you don't have to do these inside of one day, right? You could do this over the course of a week. This guy plays, 20 games in 2 days. Well, 3 days, but you know what I mean? We're using the same metric for everyone. So, 20 and 2 would be his score. You'd write it like this, 22. Even though we know it's 20 and 3, it doesn't actually matter, because if you apply the same system to everyone you analyze, then it'll be fun. If it was something like 20 games and it was played, 16 hours ago, you would actually go 20 and 0, which is higher than 20 and 1. Again, it's not division, it's just a way of recording it to keep memory. But yeah, you'd play the 5 champs, tick them off. Maybe this guy, he plays 25 games in 3 days. Okay, so 3 days later he comes back, you do the same thing again, and you just, updated it once again, do the same thing, and you just keep repeating like this until such a point as you click here and you have no champions with above like 55%. At that point, unless of course you have like one that has 54% over like a huge number of games, but for the most part, if none of your champs have 55% or higher, that's when you start looking at like stats, right? So you'd look at win rates here. One thing I would actually recommend would be something like champion.gg. I think that's quite useful, because what you can do is you can specifically have a look at, I believe you could sort by region and by rank. I might be wrong. I thought you could sort by region. Maybe it's just by rank. But anyway, the point is you could do something like, okay, I'm Platinum Plus, or even, I'm Gold. Okay. I'm Gold. I want to see top laners with a high win rate. Okay, so I'd start playing Wukong, Nasus, Yorick, Sion, Garen. That's gone a bit far, but yeah, this is the basics of how to review your op.gg. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.